Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today we're going to be chatting about the Division 2 and specifically talking about a new feature with the Warlords of New York expansion. That's right, with the Warlords of New York having just released, we now have the ability to extract the talents, core attributes, and attributes from weapons and gear, which means you are no longer stuck to keeping your stash full of things that you think you might need down the road. It is now put into this really nice and easy to look at library, so you can see exactly what you have, what you don't have, and so on and so forth. So today I wanted to walk you through what the new interface looks like, how it all works, and then just show you exactly how you can go ahead and extract a core attribute or talent. So let's just dive on into it. So when you load into the White House and you head over to the Recalibration Station, you will now see that you actually have a Recalibration Station and a library. So now you have an attribute library, which is going to house your attributes, your core attributes, as well as your talents, which is super nice. Now, the one thing to note is that there are two tiers of libraries, and you can see on my interface now I have the level 0 to 30, which is everybody in DC. And then if you did purchase the Warlords of New York expansion, you can switch over to level 31 to 40 years. So they are keeping that separate within the library to keep everything nice and organized. To switch levels, you're going to want to hit the middle button that is at the bottom. It is G on KBM by default. And then if you go ahead and click into any of the gear or weapons, you will then be brought into an interface that will show you core attributes, attributes, and talents. You can click into any of these to see exactly what you do and don't have. The nice part about this is it keeps things nice and organized, which I am a huge fan of, if I'm being honest. Now, one thing to note is that this interface is also where you are going to be extracting whatever it is that you would like to extract. So as you can see at the bottom, it said I had 8 extractable items. What you can do from there is notice on the right hand side, it says core attributes, and it highlights which one you are going to be extracting. In this case, it is the 5% weapon damage. And then you can see at the bottom, that button on the left hand side says extract internal. You're just going to hold that button, whatever it is for you. It's X by default on KBM, and then it will extract that item and then add it to your library. And then once it's in my internal library, I can also see now that I have a 5% weapon damage on here, but it can go to a max of 9.9%. So once I find myself the attribute that has a 9.9% or somewhere in the middle, if that should happen, I will have that particular talent or attribute or core attribute upgraded. So then that way it's just continually replacing itself to give you the better version of it. Now, one thing to note is that when you're looking at a specific category, for instance, the core attributes for the backpack like I'm in right now, each of those individual categories, you have to click on them to see if there's anything that is extractable. You can't just look at that individual category overall and go, okay, I have 3 things to extract. It's actually showing you whatever that top attribute is to extract. So make sure you're clicking on each of them individually, especially if you're like, wait, I definitely have something to extract and it's not showing that you do. It's probably because it's not that top attribute or talent. You just need to click in further down to each individual one to see what you do and don't have to extract. Now, a couple other things that I did want to mention. When you extract a attribute, core attribute, or talent from a piece of gear or weapon, it does destroy that item. So make sure that you are only extracting things from pieces of gear and or weapons that you don't need anymore. So that way you don't accidentally destroy something that you really want to keep. And now the other thing to note is that anything that you extract is added to that library, and that library is reusable, which is super nice. That means that when you go ahead and recalibrate a weapon or a piece of gear, you don't have to, after you do that, re-extract a attribute or talent. It is just there for you to use over and over again. And the only time, of course, you're going to have to re-extract something is if you get a better version of that attribute or talent to get it to its max potential. But y'all, that is going to be it from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, I'll leave it in the comments down below, or find me on Twitch. I do stream a whole heck of a lot and always happy to help when and where I can. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.